Also, would you verify and allow them to bring technology to school?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome everyone. Item number 4. Democrat normally does that.
What do I do it? Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the June 12th meeting.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Jean Greco. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve item number 5 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Jean Greco, second by Commissioner Warren to approve the cash disbursement, electronic transfers. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 6 is listed on your agenda.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Jean Greco to approve item 6, semi-requests and payments. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye. Motion to approve item number 7 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Jean Greco, second by Commissioner Warren to adopt proclamation 2013-04 and August 22nd, 2013 as the Center for Independent Living Day in Susquehanna County. Questions or comments? Yes.
Any more explanation about what that is? Can you talk about it?
Well, this is the proclamation here. It says whereas the Center for Independent Living was incorporated on August 22nd, 1988, and whereas the center serves residents with disabilities in Susquehanna County, and whereas the mission is to improve, enhance the independent living options to people with disabilities, and whereas the center provides information and referrals, skills training, peer counseling, advocacy, service coordination, sign language interpretation, and whereas the center assists people to access some community-based services through Medicaid waivers and other funding sources so they can live in the setting of their choice. And whereas the center advocates for systems change to eliminate architectural and communication barriers so that people with disabilities can fully participate in society, whereas at least 51% of the organization staff and board of directors have disabilities. And whereas August 22nd, 2013 is the 25th anniversary of the Center of Independent Living, now therefore be it resolved that August 22nd, 2013 is the Center for Independent Living Day in Susquehanna County.
Is there an actual center you're talking about?
I mean, a building,
Yeah.
well, they probably have a meeting place that they use, but it's not one place. As it said in the resolution, it deals with a lot of different people with disabilities in county.
So throughout the county. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye. Motion to approve item number 8 is listed on the agenda.
I will second that.
Motion by Commissioner Jean Greco, second by Commissioner Warren, to open the bids for the Shenango Street. All in favor?
Aye. First one, Ishin Home Remodeling, Springville, PA. Total materials and labor, $19,300. Bless you. CB Contracting, New Milford. Looks like $15,600, and then they have it separated with a garage for $8,425.
So that's 24,025.
Yeah, we'll have to look at this. They separate out. That doesn't say anything, so
That includes both of them.
Blue Ridge Better Builders, Halsted, PA. House garage, total of $24,865.
Okay. So you should have a little bit.
that doesn't necessarily mean it's, we're gonna look at them.
Right, we're gonna look at them, we'll review it for the next meeting. Okay, item 9.
Motion to approve item number 9 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Jean Greco, second by Commissioner Warren to approve item 9. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to approve item number 10 as listed on your agenda.
Yeah, second.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Jean Greco to approve item 10 for children and youth. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 11.
Motion to approve item number 11 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Jean Greco, second by Commissioner Warren to accept the resignation of Alicia Minor, effective June 21st. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 12 as listed on your agenda.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Jean Greco to approve item 12, accept the resignation of regret from John Stackwoods. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye. Motion to approve item number 13 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second it.
Motion by Commissioner Jean Greco, second by Commissioner Warren to approve item 13, the reappointments for Northern Tier. Questions or comments? Yes.
It says that they're an advisory committee. I went to a couple of these meetings in the past. Do they advise you and then you bring it to the public? Because that's what I'm asking. Who makes the decision?
No, they advise to Northern Tier, and Northern Tier brings stuff back to the commission.
And then the commissioners have, you review it, you study it. I'm hoping
Well,
that you bring
anything,
it before the public.
anything that would have a level that we would have to be involved in. Some issues Northern Tier handles by themselves, they're their own organization. So some of the issues they handle by themselves, but other issues, there's commissioners that sit on Northern Tier's board. So commissioners from all the counties that represent Northern Tier are there to take and make decisions.
When does the public have an opportunity to view any decisions that might be made?
Northern Tier meetings are open to the public.
All right, so let me rephrase this.
Okay.
Do they have the power to make a decision at a meeting that would affect Forest Lake Township or affect Susquehanna County without coming to the commissioners, and you bring it before the public?
Well, it depends on the decision, like they might have the authority to take and support a piece of legislation or support something that would take and bring like a sewer grant into the community, something like that. But as far as committing the county or the municipality to something, my knowledge is they do not have that authority.
Let me throw this one out, zoning.
They don't have any control over zoning. Zoning is all done at the local level. Municipality and townships, they're the ones who are supposed to be doing their zoning.
Okay, thank you.
And also, a question? And who's appointing all these people or reappointing them?
Yeah, we just did.
The three of you?
Yeah.
And in the Economic Development Group, there's 3 names. Are they all new, or who's being reappointed in that group?
They're all the same.
So they're all being reappointed?
Yeah.
And are they all business owners? I mean, what's their criterion to be appointed even?
They're not all business owners, no. People that have been doing the workforce, or people that are active in either business or in county programs. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 14.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 14 as listed on your agenda.
If I understand this correctly, this is, they're on their own and they're gonna lease space from us. Do I have that right?
Well, they're on their own right now. The lease is the same as that we have with Penn State, which is 0 on the lease.
Okay, I guess why are we calling it a memorandum of understanding as opposed to a lease agreement?
Because they will be using our phone system and paying us back. There's different reimbursements. also. It's just.
And that was all part of the deal to get them to go, for
On
them
their
to
own.
go on their own.
Right.
Yes,
And this goes for 2015.
the same as Penn State's.
Same as Penn State.
All right, second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 15.
Yeah, motion to approve item number 15 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Jean Greco, second by Commissioner Warren to approve item 15. Questions or comments on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, this time we'll have public comment on the Commissioners meeting. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know, you might be aware that there was an incident at the Lathrop Compressor Station on Father's Day. I think it started a little bit after 10 o'clock. There was a large discharge of something. It ran for 2.5 hours. And I think a lot of people, myself, I called 911 to find out what the problem was. I called Williams, I called DEP, and supposedly there was a scheduled maintenance and a silencer broke, and there was, for 2.5 hours, there was this jet engine, which actually scared a lot of people in the area. I know some people that left their homes, they were afraid of an explosion. And no warning from Williams or anything. Now, I was told that you had a meeting with emergency management and I think somebody from Williams about incidents that have happened in the area at the Williams facilities. Can you shed any light on that?
Yeah, we just had a review, looked at what they were doing as far as corrective actions, their quality control program. They went through the program with us. They do a complete investigation to figure out, what causes the incidents. Then they take and go back to find out what corrective actions we take, whether it's training, whether it's mechanical, whether it's part failure. So they do a pretty good job at analyzing why the incident occurred. They do follow up and make sure that all the corrective actions are put in place to make sure that they don't have that issue again. They don't want to have something that happens that costs them, hundreds of thousands of dollars either. So they put that in place. One thing they are looking at is trying to come up with some other systems for the local residents in that area, and some type of notification system, so they are working on that.
Okay. Did they ever respond to you or say anything about the Central Station fire? Has that been clarified as the cause of that fire or what
No,
happened?
it's still under investigation.
Okay,
That one hasn't been finished yet.
yeah, okay. Because I heard a lot of different things about.
Well, it looks like, the initial response is it looks like it was a mechanical failure
Yeah.
of a gauge,
Okay,
and that's what it was.
all right,
Okay?
thank you.
Any other public comment? Vera?
I'd like to ask Mary Ann, there was an article in the Rocket Courier on June 20th about the groundbreaking for Leatherstocking Gas Company. So I'd like to know what kind of groundbreaking, where are they going to start actually? Where were you when you did the groundbreaking? It says at the Montrose High School, but is that where they're going to start their line? And what does it cost? Nothing was in the article about the cost for connection. What will it cost the high school to connect to Leatherstocking, to get gas? What will it cost?
It's the same question you asked last week, Vera, and then at the last meeting, the answer is.
Excuse me, but I was talking to Mary Ann. I asked Mary Ann the question, Mary Ann, did you ever get a cost information? What does it cost to connect? And not only for the high school and for Treehab, any other facility. And do they give you any figures? I mean, is this going to be a free connection? Nothing is indicated in the article. Can you tell us more since you've done research on it? And you've been involved in
The
it?
contracts are between the high school, the hospital, and Treehab. I do not have those figures. They would be contracts that are between their boards. The groundbreaking was just a ceremonial thing. We just put some shovels, Alan was there, we just put some shovels in the ground and put on a hard hat. It wasn't a real groundbreaking. It was just ceremonial. That's not where it's not going to start in the front yard of the school facility. What else did you ask?
Did you have a date for starting? Do they have a date? Any kind of project?
They actually have their plans down to soil conservation right now. They are not complete. They've had findings on them. Soil conservation has been working with them It's not actually Leather Stocking, it's DDS, who is their contractor. And hopefully it will be approved next week and they can start, I guess, beginning of July.
Of this year,
Yes,
to connect the high school.
yes.
And then, so there must be a cost, this is not free. I mean, even though you don't know the cost, there must be a cost. Would you say that?
There has to be some sort of cost, I would think, but those buildings are gonna be the anchor buildings to get it going through the county.
So that's the high school and Treehab?
The high school, the new hospital, and Treehab.
New hospital and Treehab. All right, thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
You went like that. Does that mean there is no cost to the taxpayer?
There's no cost from the
Leather stock?
leather stocking to hook up. The cost that someone's gonna have is if they have to have the contractor come in and do the hookup for it. So like,
No, I'm not talking private, I understand that. I'm talking about the hospital, the schools. I'm assuming that that will come out of their budget and the
Right,
savings will
right.
come because it's gonna be less
right,
than.
the school is saying $1 a year.
But if the initial hookup between the school and leather stocking, are we footing that bill, or is that part of
No.
their budget that they've already got?
It's out of their budget, whoever they pay as a contractor to do their hookup, that's who they're gonna pay out of their
Okay.
budget. Any other questions? Vera?
I'd like to also know, Alan, since you just have a new job now as Realtor with Century 21 Mitchell, and you're going to be a Realtor besides a County Commissioner, what can you say about the real estate sales in our county? Is there still enough market here? People are selling homes? Because I see for sale signs so many places, more than I've ever seen. What kind of sale volume? Do you know anything about that? What's going on in our
No,
county?
I have no comment on that. Any other questions? Okay, I have a motion to adjourn, do I have a second?
Second.
I have
All in
another
favor?
question.
Aye.
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 Motion on the retirement board meeting?
Motion to open the retirement board.
9/17.
9/17.
Motion to approve the minutes of January 23rd, 2013.
Second.
Motion by Treasurer Baddick, seconded by Commissioner Jean Greco to approve the minutes. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 4?
I'll make a motion to adopt the Susquehanna County Employees Retirement System and Trust Plan as amended and restated, January 1st, 2011.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, seconded by Treasurer Baddick to approve item 4 for the Susquehanna County Employees Retirement System Trust Plan. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, at this time, we'll have a short presentation from Brinker Capital to present the reports on the performance of our funds.
Morning. Oh, there we go.
Good morning. My name is John Coyne. I'm the Vice Chairman of Brinker Capital. Thank you, Commissioners, for taking the time to meet with us. If you turn to page 3 of the agenda, I'm sorry, it's not marked. But what I thought we could do is there is market commentary that runs from page 4 roughly through page to the performance review. I'd suggest that the board could take the time on their own to review that. It's just a general broad market overview. Page 10 is the account summary. I direct your attention to the upper left-hand box, which shows the beginning values, quarter to date, year to date, since inception, and then the net contributions. Since inception, I'd like to compliment the commissioners on, this was a 40% underfunded plan, even when we received it in October. It is now, as you can see, contributions have been almost $2.75 billion. Now this plan is currently underfunded only by 25%. I can assure you from the analysis we've done of other counties around the state, that is not the typical experience that we're seeing. So on behalf of the retirees, and I'm sure they're very pleased with the results of your contribution. We have had a change in market value. Fortunately, this is through May 31st, and the market value is up slightly over $1 million in that time period, so representing roughly a 7.35% increase in value. So the ending value as of May 31st was just under $16 million. The page 11 simply breaks out the percentages of the various asset classes. And what you can see is that the target is a reflection of the written investment policy statement that was created by the commissioners. On page 12 is simply a continuation of that, just showing the retirement assets, the percentage that's in stocks, listed as equities, fixed income as bonds, alternative investments, and then the cash account. This amount is not included in the total. This was the most recent contribution. So that is why that's not reflected there. Asset classes, and then by manager and market value, you can see on page 13 as far as it's directed towards stocks, on page 14 as it's directed towards bonds, and then on page 15 as it is directed towards your liquid, transparent alternative investments. Any questions?
Good job, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any public comment at this point on the retirement board? Yes.
I have no idea what he's talking about. Is there any way that you can get this presented to the public? When there were meetings across the street, there was a whole setup, and I'm sure you can do that in miniature perhaps in this room. This is not transparent?
Well, we just went over all the numbers.
I know, you
If you'd
have
like-
everything
If you'd like
there.
more detailed information, I'll get it for you, that's not a problem.
But we don't, same way we have an agenda,
Mm-hmm.
we have nothing except looks good, looks better, sounds great. That's all we have.
Okay. Well, I didn't go over the numbers, but I'll get you more detailed information.
Okay, thanks.
And we did put in an additional $1.5 million.
We're gonna do it again this year.
Kathy's gonna.
So that helps.
Kathy's
That
gonna-
helps his numbers.
Kathy's gonna retire soon, so we've gotta make sure
Thank
she's
you,
got enough
I
money.
appreciate that.
Motion to adjourn?
And where's that $1.5 million? Where did it come from? That extra
Came out of the
million?
general fund.
And where did that come from, in the general
Out of the
fund?
general fund.
Does the impact fee go into the general fund?
What's
The
that?
impact fee go into the general fund?
No.
Okay.
It's a separate fund.
Before we adjourn, could Sylvia read back the minutes so we could approve them so that we can get this where it needs to go? That it's been approved, please.
Okay, the meeting was called to order at 9:17 a.m. by Commissioner Paul. Motion 3 by Catherine Benedict, second by Michael Jean Greco, ayes unanimous, motion carried. Motion 4 by Mary Ann Warren, second Kathy Benedict, ayes unanimous, motion carried.
Motion to approve the minutes of June 26th.
Second.
Motion by Treasurer Benedict, second by Commissioner Warren to approve the minutes of June 26th. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion by Treasurer Benedict closed, second by Commissioner Warren. All in favor?
Aye.
We are closed.
9:24.
Kathy, got it? Okay. Yeah, you got one?
Yeah, after we should.
Copy of the resolution.
There was, but maybe there.
Somebody ate one. And I was early. Oh my gosh, go wine, we'll get to one.